died in her New Mexico home from the rodent-related disease known as Hantavirus. Now with many spring cleaning projects taking
April 2026, a luxury cruise ship in Antarctica, 147 people, beautiful glaciers, a once-in-a-lifetime trip. Then a 70-year-old man gets a headache. The ship's doctor says, "Relax, it's just a cold." His wife collapsed at a South African airport 2 weeks later, dead. Then a third passenger died, on the same ship. Suddenly, no country would let the ship dock, port after port, rejection after rejection. The media called it one thing, the ghost ship.
8 cases have been reported, including 3 deaths. 5 of the 8 cases have been confirmed as Hantavirus, and the other 3 are suspected. Hantaviruses are a group of viruses carried by rodents that can cause severe disease in humans.
And the virus responsible? It kills 1 out of every 2 people it infects. That is a coin flip. Heads, you live. Tails, you don't. No vaccine, no cure, and right now it is already living in American homes. Before you think this is some faraway problem, stop right there, because hantavirus is not new to America. The CDC has confirmed cases in 36 states. Right here, right now. In 2012, there was an outbreak at Yosemite National Park, America's most iconic park. Tourists slept in the cabins, hiked the trails, then went home to 11 different states. Some of them were already infected. 3 people died. The Park Service had to send emergency warnings to 2,500 visitors. Yosemite, a place millions of Americans visit every year, and most people never even heard about it. So here is the part that should genuinely scare you. You do not need to touch a mouse. You do not need to be bitten. You do not even need to see one. This is exactly how it happens. Step 1. A deer mouse, the most common carrier in the US, is infected with hantavirus. It feels completely fine. No symptoms, no signs, nothing. Step 2. It leaves behind droppings, urine, or saliva. In your garage, your shed, that storage unit you haven't opened for years. Step 3. That waste dries out completely. It becomes microscopic dust, invisible to the naked eye. Step 4. You walk in, you sweep, you move a box, you breathe. That's it. That's all it takes. Just breathing in the wrong room. Scientists call it aerosolization. No bite, no scratch, just air. And here's the thing, this virus is not new. We first discovered it in the 1950s during the Korean War. 3,000 American soldiers fell mysteriously ill near a river in South Korea. Healthy men, dropping one by one. Doctors had no idea what was happening. They named the virus after that river, Hantavirus. That was 70 years ago, and we still have no cure. Then in 1993, it hit American soil directly, the Navajo Nation, New Mexico and Arizona. Young, healthy people, athletes, farmers, suddenly dying of respiratory failure. No warning, no prior illness, no explanation. Doctors were panicking. The CDC sent emergency teams. When they finally found the cause, a deer mouse, the same animal living in backyards across America right now. 1950s, Korea, 3,000 soldiers. 1993, New Mexico, healthy young people dying. 2012, Yosemite, America's most famous park. 2026, a ghost ship. No country would let it dock. The same virus, every single time, all from a mouse you never even saw. I know exactly what you're thinking. We just survived COVID. How bad can this really be? Fair question. Here's the honest answer. COVID-19 spreads fast, spreads wide, infects millions at once. But for most people, the death rate is under 2%. Hantavirus, much harder to catch. But if you do catch it, up to 50% of infected people die. That puts it closer to Ebola than the flu. The difference is this. COVID was everywhere at once, loud, impossible to ignore. Hantavirus is quiet, waiting, in fields, in garages, in hiking trails all across America. It doesn't make the news until someone is already dead. And here is what makes it even worse. El Niño years bring more rain, more plants, more food for rodents. More rodents mean more infected mice. More infected mice mean more hantavirus, and climate scientists say this cycle is getting worse every year. Now let's go back to that ghost ship, because there is one detail that makes this story even more terrifying. Before boarding the cruise, the Dutch couple visited a landfill in South America, full of rats, full of mice. They had absolutely no idea they were being exposed. Now here's the critical part. Most strains of hantavirus cannot spread person to person. You have to get it directly from a rodent. But the Andes strain from South America? It is the only strain in the world confirmed to spread between humans, through close contact, through shared air. Investigators believe the couple may have brought the virus on board. The ship became a floating petri dish, and no country wanted any part of it. April 1st, a headache. April 11th, first death. Port after port rejected. The ship drifted for weeks with nowhere to go. It finally docked in Spain on May 10th. Passengers were screened, quarantined. The world exhaled. But make no mistake, this was a warning shot. Here is the hard truth. No FDA vaccine, no proven cure. So you are your only protection right now. The good news? It is actually simple, if you know what to do. Tip 1. Seal your home. Mice can squeeze through a hole the size of a dime. Walk around your garage, basement, and attic right now. Any gap? Fill it with steel wool or caulking. This one step alone can keep them out completely. Tip 2. Never dry sweep rodent droppings. Ever. This is the mistake that gets people killed. Sweeping kicks the dried particles straight into the air and into your lungs. Instead, soak the area with a bleach and water mix first. Let it sit for 5 minutes. Then wipe with damp paper towels. Seal everything in a bag. Done. Tip 3. Wear an N95 mask in dusty spaces. Cleaning out a garage, an old cabin, a storage unit? Put on an N95 mask and disposable gloves before you go in. Takes 30 seconds. Could save your life. Tip 4. Know the early warning signs. Hantavirus starts like the flu, fever, muscle aches, fatigue. Most people dismiss it. That is the deadly mistake. If you have been near areas with potential rodent activity, a shed, a trail, an old building, and you develop these symptoms, tell your doctor immediately. Mention rodent exposure specifically. Early treatment is the difference between life and death. The ghost ship story ended without a full disaster this time, but here is what it exposed. We are not ready. Not for a virus with no vaccine. Not for a 50% death rate. Not for a world where the animals carrying it are multiplying faster every single year. 1950s, 1993, 2012, 2026. This virus keeps coming back, quietly, without warning. And every single time, people are caught off guard. Hantavirus has been quietly killing Americans for over 30 years. It doesn't trend on Twitter, it doesn't make the front page, but it is real. And it is close. So let me ask you something genuine. When is the last time you actually checked your garage? Your basement? That shed sitting in your backyard? Because a deer mouse does not knock before it enters your home. If this video made you think twice, share it. Because right now, the only protection we have is information. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.